How were early colonial city sites chosen strategically? Imagine a time when explorers and settlers were deciding where to build new cities in unfamiliar lands. They didn't just pick spots randomly. Every choice was carefully thought out to serve specific goals. Early colonial city sites in Latin America were chosen based on a mix of practical, political, and economic reasons. The Spanish crown had strict rules called the laws of the Indies that guided these decisions. These laws set a standard for city planning to make control and colonization easier. One of the main factors was geography. Cities were often built near rivers, coastlines, or fertile lands. These locations made sure settlers had access to water, food, and transportation. Being near navigable waterways meant ships could easily bring supplies and trade goods. Natural features like hills or high ground were also favored because they provided defense against potential attacks from indigenous groups or rival colonizers. The city layout was centered around a main plaza called the Plaza Mayor. This was the heart of the city, where important buildings like the cathedral and the town hall sat. These structures showed the power of the Catholic Church and the Spanish crown. The plaza was a symbol of authority and a place for gatherings, markets, and ceremonies. The streets were planned in a grid pattern known as the Cuadrícula Española. This grid made it simple to expand the city, find your way around, and divide land fairly among settlers. It also helped keep the city organized as it grew larger. The grid pattern made it easier to control and manage the population and resources. Social hierarchy played a role too. The most important areas, like the main plaza, were reserved for Spanish settlers and colonial elites. Indigenous communities were often placed on the outskirts or in separate neighborhoods called pueblos de indios. This spatial separation reinforced the social order imposed by colonial rulers. City planners also adapted their designs to local conditions. They considered the terrain, climate, and environment to make sure the city could thrive. For example, in mountainous regions, the streets might be more winding, while in flat areas, the grid could be laid out more straightforwardly. Economic factors were key as well. Cities were often built near indigenous villages or resource-rich areas like mines or farmland. The main plaza served as a marketplace, helping trade and commerce flourish. This helped the city grow as a hub for economic activity. All these choices show how the Spanish aimed to project their power, control resources, and organize society through city planning. These early decisions influenced the shape of many Latin American cities today, with their central plazas and grid streets still standing as reminders of those initial colonial strategies.